People the other day crying, oh, I don't know, Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country. He has no reason to give you anything. I mean, you don't pay taxes in America. He is appealing to his people. Shauri yenu bana.
Simple.
This is a wake-up call for you to say, okay, what are we going to do to help ourselves? Instead of crying, what are we going to do? Yeah? To support ourselves.
Right.
Because nobody is going to continue holding out a hand there to give you. It is time for us to use our resources for the right things. We are the ones who are using them for the wrong things.
That was the former president of Kenya having a discussion about some of y'all bitching about, oh, Trump's cutting off the foreign aid. There's nowhere in the Constitution where it says we're supposed to be giving foreign aid to any nation. Now, I will give some slight pushback because some of y'all are going to agree with this. But then in the other instances, when it's the country that you think foreign aid should go to instead of philanthropy, you'll disagree with this. So that's a contradiction. And you know, as solutionaries, we call a contradiction straight up the middle. And I'm going to give some pushback against Trump, too. As soon as Trump got in office, he cut off all the foreign aid. Except for two countries, Israel and Egypt. AIPAC is a foreign agency that has a lot of their roots in a lot of American politicians. That's one. Two, the reason why Egypt is the thing is because Egypt is really, really tied in with Israel. So it's really kind of two countries, but it's really one. That's just the reality of it. I don't give a fuck about foreign aid to any country at all. I love my time in Ghana. I love my time in Egypt. I loved my time in Dakar, Senegal. None of those three countries should get a fucking dollar. I'm sorry. America has its own issues. You know what the national debt is to these Federal Reserve banks? America has bridges that are over 100 years old that are falling apart. The infrastructure issues, border security issues, not even respecting its own constitution issues. Over 20,000 unconstitutional so-called gun laws when the Second Amendment is very, very clear. So I don't think we have time, resources, energy, or the gumption, should not have the gumption, to give resources, overwhelming fucking resources to other nations. What do we get in return? This is supposed to be investments. And I get it. Some of y'all gonna say, oh, we need to have alliances with certain nations. You can get alliances through trade. You can get alliances through tourism. State departments can communicate with other state departments and say, hey, we want a reciprocal hand. Try this, for example. Imagine if some country said, hey, we want your Americans to come here and no visa and no passport is necessary. They come here, they get the culture of our country, they experience these things. And in turn, when our people want to come to your country, we get, hey, security checkpoints, you in, da-da-da-da. If you respect the laws of our land, we'll respect the laws of your land. And we drop tourism dollars off with you, and you drop tourism dollars off with us. That's free movement. I'm a libertarian, and I know some of y'all are going to go, well, you can't be a libertarian and advocate for borders and the government controlling. So I understand that. I believe that humans should be able, and I would prefer humans to be able to move about the nation freely and respect that right of movement. But rights have to be reciprocated. So imagine if we develop relationships with, we're going to drop American tourism dollars off, you take care of our people, and vice versa. That would have a much more bigger impact for respect between nations and free trade and all of those different things. But when you start talking about that and reimagining what situations look like, people get a little bit nervous. But nonetheless, until that happens, these are the current realities. And in that current reality, me giving a nation supposedly $50 million for condoms, me teaching Afghanistan people about sexual gender studies, what the fuck does that have to do when at the same time we got Americans here that need jobs? We got welfare queens out here crying about, oh, I'm not gonna get my SNAP benefits because the PR campaign of the left made them seem like, oh, you're not gonna get any benefits and the government won't help you. But instead of creating work programs or developing trades and skills, plumbing, electrical, carpentry, all of those different things, we spending trillions of dollars in Ukraine. Hundreds of billions, trillions around the world. What the fuck does that benefit us? All of these accords and involvements and all of that other shit, fuck all of it. And I say this with love for so many different nations. But those nations like China, like Russia, they doing what they supposed to do. BRICS is doing what they supposed to do. But our nation is responsible for involving ourselves in other nations when those nations try to just do their own thing. So I see both sides of the coin. It's the reason why BRICS existed. Gaddafi was on what BRICS is now before it became fashionable, before it was all the rage. And you know what the American government, looking at you, Hillary Clinton, you know what they did to Gaddafi? They ran a PR campaign and they killed him. And then she laughed on television about it. We came, we saw, he died. So I could understand if a nation doesn't want to receive money from us, don't really fuck with us, because our rogue United States government, not the American people, same as Israel. The people of Israel, when I speak to Israeli friends over there, they're like, we don't fuck with this government. These are rogue governments doing too much. And we have to make sure that we're informing ourselves about what this process civically and these dollars, tax dollars, is supposed to be and where they're supposed to go, and more importantly, not go. So then we can become the public servants that make sure that that buck stops with us. But because we've been so misinformed and uneducated around civics and how this game is supposed to go, they just fucking willy-nilly with the blank checks. But that's our fault. We've allowed it. You are getting the government and the horrible economy that you're getting because you're not making the decision to be involved in politics. You know how many times you hear people say, oh, I don't really bang with politics. I'm not interested in politics. It's interested in you. Politics is the securing, maintenance, and expansion of your own interests. Americans need to be focused on American interests, at least with tax dollars. But I don't know. Maybe y'all think I'm cold. Maj, you just a libertarian. You don't believe in social benefit. You don't believe in philanthropy for real and charitable if the government should exist. Say whatever you want. If you get it right and you stump me, I definitely will agree with you in the comment section. But if you say something stupid and you're wrong, I'm going to check you there too. You get to express yourself. We live in America. And I get to exchange what my view of your expression is as well. This is the reason why I also want everybody to go over to solutionaryuniversity.org. Sign up for a Solutionary 9 premium membership. Why? Because you get access to civics class, understanding imminent threat, firearms basics, understanding of history, the Constitution, what this means, what we're doing that we're not supposed to be, so forth and so on. We created a well-rounded plan for people that want to be holistic in their approach. Free from government involvement and the welfare state, free from the nanny state, free from the military-industrial complex, to do things on your own, independently and sovereign as America was intended to be. If that's you, go over to solutionaryuniversity.org, sign up for a Solutionary 9 membership. We got a community of people, thousands of people across the country in one app that helps and communicates and pushes each other to be independent from the United States government, but definitely connected to Americans all across America. My name is Maj Toure, the founder of Solutionary University. Hope to see you in the class soon. Be safe, be solutionary.